Hi, I'm Ryan, and my life is average. So as you guys know, this week's theme on SDK is Talent Week, and I had plans to sing the song Sweater Weather by The Neighborhood, but as you can tell by my nasally Elmo-like voice, I was sick, and am sick. As always, apparently, just I'm always sick. So unfortunately, because of that, I'm not able to do a cover. I was barely able to get out of bed to make this video, so I hope you appreciate the fact that I'm trying, and my hair looks like Donald Trump. Luckily for me, I have a lot of talents that no one really cares about, but they're things that I'm good at. Like, I'm really good at ping pong, I'm really good at bingo, and I'm also really good at telling stories. So flashback to 10-year-old Ryan, okay? I lived in Philadelphia, and my family had a little campground that we would go to in the summertime, and it would be like our weekend getaway vacation type thing. It would be like a retreat. It was so big, and there were lakes everywhere, and I started developing this weird love for toads. And I started seeing a bunch of them. There were toads everywhere. So I sneakily started catching them. But I knew that if my parents found out, they would get really mad because my parents didn't like me having any animals at all, and obviously toads would be one of them. So I developed a plan. We went to Kmart the night before one week, and I bought new shoes. They were like these little light-up Skechers. I was very proud. They're Velcro. I didn't know how to tie my shoes. It was awkward. And I poked little holes in the shoe box and started filling them with toads. I got over 15 toads in one night. I was a toad catching expert. I lured them in. I'd do a little noise. They would just run up to me because I was their toad father. So later that weekend we're driving home and I was freaking out because I have 15 toads in a shoebox in the back of the car, and if my dad hits one bump and that lid comes off, boy am I done. And did I put tape on it like a smart person? No. No, I didn't. I put a bag of Cheetos over it because that's so heavy, right? Thankfully, everything worked out and I got home with my toads in hand and I started naming them. I named a couple of them Ashley, and I named 4 of the toads Greg because at the time I thought that was funny. I'm sorry, Greg. I get home and I started feeling bad because now I have all these toads in this little shoe box. I got them water, I got them some crickets from outside, but I knew that would not, like, it wouldn't help them. They wouldn't be able to live, and I wanted a big toad family. I wanted to be the most proud toad father of all time, so I had to come up with a lie. And what a lie I came up with. I told my dad for my science class I needed like an island biome. My dad, being the really creative guy he is, said, okay, yeah. So after a couple days, he builds me this 3-foot wide, really cool looking tank type thing, and I didn't use it for my class. I used it for my toads. So now I'm in my closet, no jokes please, and I now have this gigantic biome full of toads. Now we have Greg and Ashley, they're on the beach getting some tans. Then you have Paul and Robert, they're in the grass, they're just reading, they're having a good time, they're fast learners. And then you have Michael, who is just swimming up a storm. He goes on to be Michael Frogs, who is the friend of Michael Phelps. And the whole biome is flourishing. I have a toad world. But then I started running out of things to give them for food because I could only find 1 or 2 crickets. So then I came up with another big plan. My cousin at the time was 16 and he just got his license, so I begged him to go to PetSmart and buy me a big thing of crickets because I knew that they sold them. So I gave him $10, which at the time was absolutely the most money I've ever given anyone, and he got me 2 cupfuls full of just crickets. It was a feast. It was like Thanksgiving for weeks for my toads. They were getting fat, they were looking good, they were athletic, and I had probably the most profound toad family of all time. So you flash forward a couple weeks and I started getting real weird. I started making a little volleyball net with little volleyballs. I tried getting my toads to play sports. I made little beach chairs out of popsicle sticks so they can get tans. It got so weird that I started going to craft stores with my mom and I started buying little pants because I just wanted my toads to wear pants. And to this day, that is the funniest thing ever to me. Just toads wearing jeans. So fast forward 1 month, 14 out of the 15 toads were still alive. I got a refill of crickets from my cousin that day. It was like Toad Christmas for me. It was just amazing until that night, that fateful Tuesday night where everything changed. So I've always been known to be a sleepwalker. I'm one of those guys that go ah and scream in the middle of the night, but that night I was a runner. I got out of my bed, I ran to the closet, and I just started kicking things. For some reason. And what did I kick? The crickets. So my mom comes in to check on what the heck's going on and she sees literally hundreds of crickets on the floor. At that point I knew it was over. I knew the jig was up. My dad came in as well and he finds my school project biome in my closet full of toads. So obviously my dad was not happy and he took the toads. But before he did, he let me have 5 minutes because I wanted to talk to them. Because that's how weird I was. I was like the mini Dr. Dolittle. Except the animals didn't talk back. I was just weird. And my dad let them go, but one thing he didn't realize was I kept one toad. Little Greg. And I kept him for 4 weeks. In my bed. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. Now you know about my weird love for toads and frogs. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up since I almost died this week. And hey, I'm alive, so thumbs up for that. That's a cheap way to get thumbs up. But yeah, I will see you guys next Friday. And whoa, settle down, kids and toads.